Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to this exciting panel. This one is titled AI in Action, Real Use Cases Transforming the Multi-Day Tour Industry. So we all know AI isn't just hype. It's already driving measurable results, and forward-thinking companies are taking advantage of this. From automated itinerary management to predictive demand planning, AI tools are reducing costs, improving speed to market, and elevating the traveler experience. However, it's still the wild, wild west, and we're in the 2020s gold rush. So how do we make of all this craziness that's happening? We brought three experts to this exciting panel. We're going to be answering a couple of things today. Where does AI deliver the biggest ROI in the travel operations today? Some of the pitfalls to avoid when adopting AI systems and workflows in your company, and how to balance automation with authenticity in the customer experience. But the question is, where is AI really moving the needle forward? So before I introduce the panelists, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Christian Wolters. I am the president in Canada for Intrepid Travel. We're the world's largest small group travel operator. Like everyone else, we are struggling to figure out how to implement AI so it has the biggest and most positive impact on our business. So I'd like to introduce our panelists now so we can get deep into the conversation. And first, I'd like to introduce Susan DeBottis. She's the VP of Adventure and Entertainment at Easol. Easol is designed for multi-day tour operators, destination festival creators, and location-based entertainment businesses. It's an experience commerce platform that brings website bookings, inquiries, and payments and marketing all together. And prior to Easol, she was a chief growth officer at Resdy and led the Marriott Global Tours and Activities division. Next up is Alex Ragin. He's the chief CEO officer of Tourseta and Zoftify. So in most cases, we've decided that one business keeps us too busy. Alex decided that he needs to lead two. So Tourseta is a booking platform built specifically for the multi-day and group tour operators. It's a spin-off from Zoftify and born out of working, no doubt, with dozens of travel companies and seeing some of the operational challenges. Zoftify is a product development agency, 100% specialized in the travel industry, and they help travel brands launch and scale digital products with their deep engineering expertise. And last up is Mate Kostovski. He's the CEO at Lemax. He is the OG of the panel today because he founded his business back in 1990 in Croatia. Lemax has been successfully assisting clients in the creation and implementation of digital business solutions. Today, Lemax's core product is a SaaS offering that helps tourist agencies and tour operators automate their mid and back office processes and manage their B2B and B2C website sales. So Lemax has grown to over 100 professionals. Thank you all for joining the panel today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christian.
Thank you, Christian.
Cheers. All right, so I've already framed it, so I'm going to jump right in. Of course, just to keep to do my back-end homework here, anyone has any questions, please put it in the comments. I will do my best to interject or throw them into the conversation, but if I don't get to them, please, you see these names, you see these panelists, please try to connect with them afterwards and ask them the questions and the deeper discussions that no doubt you're going to have after you hear this panel. So the question is overall is where is AI really moving the needle forward? And we're going to start off with question number one. That's for Alex. And so Alex, you work with dozens of tour operators through Tourseta and Zoftify, where you're seeing AI deliver the biggest operational ROI today. Whether that's in content generation, demand forecasting, or automating repetitive tasks, where are you seeing the biggest operational ROI today?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Christian, for the question. I can actually speak on both sides. Zoftify, where we build custom software for travel companies, and Tourseta, our platform for multi-day tour operators. And actually, most people think about AI as as itinerary builders or chatbots. And because simply chat interfaces are something that is widely advertised, be it an OpenAI, new presentation, or Gemini, whatever. And often tour operators and us, travel tech providers, we follow their recommendations. But also, I want our audience and I want everyone in the industry to understand that ROI also comes from automating operational tasks, something that those companies simply cannot, like they don't know about because they do not work within the industry. And the real ROI comes from, like automating manual work and, like saving times on things that can be simply automated. And I'll give you one of the examples. We built an AI feature at Tourseta that automates room lists for group tours. It would analyze room types, preferences, genders, age groups, and whatever. And then it would assign travelers in rooms automatically. That's a real-time saver for a lot of tour operators. And this is a great example where AI makes things way more efficient. Imagine building a rooming list for, let's say, for a 25 or 50-person group tour. You would spend hours on that, but AI can do it in seconds and without any errors, right? So a lot of possibilities lie down in operational tasks, not just something that we see that is widely advertised, elsewhere.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Alex. Next question is for you, Mate. Lemax helps operators automate their back office processes. Can you give a concrete example of where AI has saved time or reduced costs? Because we hear a lot about these time savings, and it always seems to be on the individual basis and not really hitting the balance sheet. So I'm just curious if you're seeing how it's impacting businesses and how quickly that ROI is becoming more visible across the businesses entirety.
Yeah, I get it. Thank you. So, Chris, we've always been automating manual processes, and now with AI, AI is augmenting the work that people are doing within tour operators software business, within tour operator business. So the biggest impact that we see is, and the highest impact that we see is in sales part. So, for example, you can chat with AI in order to create a tour and create an itinerary, or you can use AI to actually read emails from your travelers or potential customers in order to get the tour and itinerary created and automatically sent to passengers. We see this as a huge impact on efficiency and implementation, and the ROI gets back very quickly within a few weeks. In general, that's where we see the quickest impact. But with the digitalization of the tour operators, it commonly starts in sales and then it rolls over to other departments. As Alex said, the operations. We also see one huge implementation, and that is the contract loading, which is a huge pain for many DMCs and tour operators across the planet. That's what we would love to automate in the near future, so that you have the ability to use AI to load contracts in the system.
Okay, so like with contract loading, some of your metrics like time saved, contracts loaded, automated? What are the ways that you know it's working successfully?
It's absolutely time saved and number of contracts loaded. Number of contracts loaded correctly. That's, I think, the most important thing, because messing something with contracts can have a huge impact on the business. And probably what we would also love to do is implement the changes that commonly come with some special offers or stop sales via email. We would love also to automate this part of business.
Perfect. All right, Susan, Easol sits closer to the customer side, helping creators design and sell experiences. Where do you see AI making the most impact on traveler experiences or conversion?
Yeah, I think the most impact where I see AI is already making an impact, and I think really will continue to do so on the traveler experience, is really trying to finally get to a stage of true personalization. I've worked in travel my whole life, and personalization has been like this holy grail that's been discussed for so many years. But ultimately, it's always really just been limited by the quality of data that exists. And I think oftentimes wrongly extrapolated based on past behavior, making a lot of sweeping assumptions that what you did last time is what you want to do in the future. And so with AI now, it really takes personalization to the next level by accelerating the ability to provide recommendations and perform actions that actually include context, which was missing in the past, and real-time inputs. I think from a conversion perspective, travelers are now really coming to travel experience providers commonly with far more information than they ever had before, because it's so much easier to synthesize large sets of information. That's why trip planners have always been an interesting concept for so many, because it's a known pain point. It takes forever to compare prices, compare options. And so now, because it's so much easier to synthesize that information, they've already done a lot of that comparison shopping and research before they even arrive to meet you as the travel provider. And so they're now ready to really just understand that last mile and validate the assumptions that they have and the research that they've done. And so it's great for travel providers because now they have the potential of a lot more qualified customer that are coming to them and hopefully will lead to a lot higher conversion. But obviously it also comes with risks. I think that, ultimately some of the things that I've seen falling short, I don't think LLMs have quite figured out a lot of complex logistics in travel planning. I think I've heard some funny stories where people have looked at an itinerary and been like, well, that's not quite right. I think the other thing really is that when you think about the interfaces that people are interacting with today around search and discovery and all of those things changing, it really starts to lose a lot of brand and personality. These interfaces are largely, oftentimes, just like white boxes with black text, and you've lost all sense of personality and branding. And so I think that there'll be opportunities moving forward to really introduce that into some of the interfaces.
Amazing. I remember doing a presentation 10 years ago on hyper-personalization, so I know exactly what you're talking about. It feels like the Holy Grail's finally here. But yeah, you're absolutely right. When you're in that last mile, as you describe it, if we're delivering kind of this sort of superficial automated process, and then suddenly you're trying to deliver a human experience at the end of it, it seems a bit disjointed and bumpy. So very interesting thoughts. Okay, going on to the next question. Back to you, Alex. You mentioned seeing client. There's something that we've seen a little bit about conversion rates drop when we rely on AI too heavily, specifically in the content generated world. So, what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and we saw a couple of tour operators on our platform experiment with that. They would create their tours entirely with AI, descriptions, even images, FAQ sections, cancellation policies, whatever. And when they launched those tours, and they were not their core tours, obviously, but they were just some experiments they wanted to run, they saw zero conversions because travelers actually, they're not stupid. They feel when something is not just AI generated, but something feels fake. And when you sell an experience or a tour that worth, let's say, $3,000 is very much different from selling a $10 ticket. So they would think twice before spending their money with you. So you have to make sure that your experience is, is authentic. And a lot of people in the comments, I also see they bring a topic about trust, because trust in multi-day, trust for multi-day tour operators is something extremely important, and AI can break this trust. And just speaking of AI and how you can use AI is great for structuring data, optimization, probably sometimes even translations. I would doubt that for some cases, because again, like you might translate something to French, like your itinerary to French, but it might just sound awkward or weird. And then when you send this itinerary to your French customers without reviewing that as a human, it can break the connection again. So, of course, the images, like something that I saw a lot of demos on from different companies, and images and videos, they have to be real. An imperfect image is way better than a polished one, but AI generated, because again, travelers, they're not stupid. They see the difference. And, if you have an image from one of your previous tours that you publish on your website, it would convert 1,000 times better than a polished one, but AI generated, not even talking about videos. So just make sure that you can use AI for generating content, but the content should come from a human and then polished with AI, right? Like for readability, for like fixing your grammar mistakes and so on, but never the other way around.
So that's interesting, Alex. I'm seeing some good connections from what Susan just said to what you're saying. In the comments, Catherine Jacobs talks about trust building. So it's really interesting that AI is a tool that can get you there, but in that last mile, it's got to be authentic. It's got to be human led, maybe AI enabled,
100%.
but human led at that point. So that's really interesting. So on to you, Mate. From an implementation standpoint, what are the most common mistakes that you're seeing when adopting AI?
Yeah, it's not that different than other implementations of tour operator software or any other software tools. It's that we see customers commonly start with what feature to implement, what AI tools should be used, and that's not what we would advise them. I would advise them to start with a business problem and a business goal that they would love to achieve, and then find the process where AI can augment and increase efficiency for like 5 or 10 times. The second thing that we commonly see is, and I'm sure many people heard already about this, it's the data. If you don't have the proper data, the AI will just amplify the chaos and the problems would be even bigger. And finally, what we also see commonly is the implementations are siloed. It starts, so sales starts it within one department, then operations start another implementation of AI in their department. It never gets to the actual system of work, so it's siloed, and that's a shame. So these are the three biggest things that I see as a problem, and we would advise CEOs start with a business problem, not with AI to implement.
Oh, very interesting, Mate. One of the things I presented on is something I call AI teammates, but we look at your whole business as a series of workflows. So you have tasks, you have outputs, and it's no doubt a good exercise just to look at how the human beings are delivering products and services within your business. But then how does AI kind of get implemented into these workflows to augment and improve the efficiency, rather than just individually us all just grabbing tools and making our own lives for the short run really good. But kind of like what I was saying in the beginning, if you kind of implement it across the business, then you're going to start seeing the impact to the balance sheet over time. It's an easy thing to say, very difficult to implement, because the human factor is also sometimes could be your best ally, but also could be the most resistant aspect of implementing these things. That's really great. Wow, we're getting close to running out of time here. We're about 2 minutes in. I do have one more question I wanted to ask Susan. So with AI increasingly handling repetitive work, how do you keep the human touch alive in customer experience?
Yeah, I think on this one, technology has really been trying to allow travel providers to focus on the human touch for years. That is literally every technology advancement that's happened in hospitality is really focused on that at the core. And I think really all AI is doing is just accelerating the pace of that. When I think about the unique position that experience providers are in a world of AI, I think really we're in the most powerful position to enable us to spend that quality time on human interaction, and how do we improve the guest experience by offloading a lot of that repetitive tasks. I remember when I was at Marriott, when we launched mobile check-in, everyone was a bit worried about it, and then front office agents were like, oh wait, we can focus on providing real value to our guests. I think that in time spent is the most valuable asset that everyone has. And people want to know that they're making the right choice in the time that they're spending and when they're making travel decisions. And so I think just for creators to really think about what is that extra layer of human touch that differentiates them and focus in on that.
Very cool. Thank you, Susan. Okay, I'm going to do one question. We had a few quick fire questions all planned, but I think I love takeaway questions. We have about 20 seconds. Whoever wants to jump on this, if someone in the audience wants to experiment with AI next week, what's one small high impact pilot you'd recommend they start with? And whoever wants to take this, because it's probably only going to be one person.
Yeah.
Alex?
Go ahead, Mate.
Okay, so I think find one thing where you can see that you can quickly get like 10 times ROI and start implementing it. So
and measure that.
Implementation, yeah, absolutely.
And measure that for sure.
Perfect. Well, no doubt we'll have many people asking you tons more questions because we didn't get get through a lot of our questions today, but some really interesting topics. Thank you so much for joining this panel.
Thank you so much, Kristen.
Thanks all.
Cheers.
See you guys later. Bye.